Namaste, my friends. Good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Meditation. Today we're going to work on our five senses again, extending that a little more to include the sixth sense, using the tools that we've learned in earlier weeks to work on our metacognition, our awareness of being aware. So find yourself a comfy spot, somewhere possibly quiet and away from the hustle and bustle of the life, of what's going on today in your realm. Find a comfy spot to sit. For me, it's my bolster. Maybe it's a chair. Maybe it's a yoga mat. Maybe it's a comfy pillow in the corner of a quiet room. I have my blanket covering my legs. Options, as you know, sweatshirts, socks, sweaters, anything where you feel comfortable and not distracted by the room around you. And come and join me for only a half an hour of Monday morning meditation. Morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday morning meditation. Let me just get ourselves set up here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. And we are all set to spend just a little bit of time together, getting focused and set for the day. So, as I sit back on my trusty bolster here, I hope you have a space somewhere in your home or where you are that is quiet, comfortable, away from the busy day, from all of the hustle and bustle of everything that's going on. And you can spend a few minutes with yourself. We're dressed for success, of course. We have hopefully some comfy clothes on so that we're not distracted by the pull and stretch of uncomfortable clothes. Perhaps a pillow, or for me, it's always the trusty bolster, sweater, sweatshirt with the hood, socks maybe, or blanket, just to help you stay a little comfortable. I don't suggest lying down simply because we can get so comfortable that we fall asleep. But if lying down is your most comfortable position for you, then please do so. It's what makes you feel the most comfortable and open to the best experience. So, let's start by closing our eyes. In fact, before we do that, let's just do a couple shoulder rolls up to the ears, down the back. Big breath in as the shoulders come up. Exhale as they roll down. And up for the third time. Squeeze, release. And last time. Up. Squeeze and let them settle. Feel them fall away from the ears. I always love that feeling after I roll my shoulders. They just want to go down to the ground. I'm going to take a moment to readjust my sit bones on my mat, push my tailbone into the seat, and raise my head so I'm nice and tall in the spine. My Kundalini stance. And with eyes closed, we're just going to focus on the breath for a few moments. Hands are comfortable in the lap, whatever that feels like for you. Some people like to take Gyan Mudra, first finger and thumb touching in the backs of the hands on the lap. You take whatever position makes you feel the most comfortable. I have my tummy pulled in just slightly to keep that nice long straight spine, and my eyes close as I just focus on the breath coming in for me through the nose and then out. The sensations, the feelings that go with that. Today we're going to work a little bit more on the five senses, adding an additional element to this particular practice, being aware of awareness itself. We've tried to do this in a number of our opportunities to come together, expanding on the five senses 2 weeks ago, we did a much longer version from the toes all the way up to the head. I'm going to shorten it a little bit today, but we're going to try and use those senses as a gateway to get beyond that. Okay? We're going to allow us to begin by exploring the present moment and then open that gate to the spaciousness that's behind it. To be open, but awake, aware, and alive, all at the same time. We're going to jump right in today. So settling into that comfy position, wherever you choose to be, maybe even lying down or remaining seated, and then closing the eyes if they are not already closed. Let's take 3 full breaths to begin. Fill the abdomen on the inhale. Gently soften the belly on the exhale. Notice the movement in the torso while you breathe. As we let the breath set into its natural rhythm. So now we're going to lead our attention to wherever you may be hearing right now. Wherever? No. Whatever you may be hearing right now. With eyes closed, focus your ears on the room. Noticing the sounds around you. Try and focus on the one that's most prominent, or maybe it's the loudest sound. Maybe it's just resonating with you the most. Focus on that. With eyes closed as we breathe, find that sound. Maybe it's the sound of the heat coming up the vent. Maybe if you're like me, it's the sound of my fireplace that you can't quite see over here. To me, that's the loudest sound. Maybe you don't hear anything. And let's remember golden rule number 1, if nothing is what you hear, then that is your experience. We're not going to judge it. We're not going to get upset about it. It just is what it is. Now let's move to some of the quieter sounds. Are there any sounds underlying that loud sound? With your eyes closed, take a moment to scan the room with your ears. Listen for any other sounds that may not be as loud, but yet are still there. Observing whatever sounds, come up in your immediate space. Maybe even sounds within your own physical body. Maybe you had a drink of water before we came together and you're hearing that gurgling down in your belly. Could be anything. Just take a moment to listen. And we are noticing these sounds without any attitude. There is no judgment. We are just noticing and moving on. Like the clouds in the sky when we did our sky mind meditation. We notice it, passes by, and we move on to the next. There is a small sense of curiosity, but non-judgment. It is what it is. If you hear nothing, then that's what you hear. We notice that, we hear nothing. No judgment or negativity about it. So let's move on now to our sense of smell. Shifting our attention and our awareness on everything we can smell. Exploring our sense of smell. And again, if we can't smell anything, that's okay. In my room in particular, I bring all of my outdoor plants in for the winter. So I have a number of geraniums and a couple of wandering Jews and a hibiscus over here. So I have some smells going on in here. Just to say I love the smell of dirt, but that's just me. We smell what we smell. So take a moment, use just your nose, a couple of deep breaths, and notice the smells in the room. We're being wide open to this sheer sensory discovery. Whatever comes up, comes up. There's no such thing as good or bad. Now let's move to the sense of taste. I know it seems odd since we're sitting here in meditation, but what, if anything, do you taste right now? Maybe the residue of gum just tossed out before we came to meet today. Perhaps you had a bite to eat before we came together. Maybe you can taste your own breath or the saliva in your mouth. Can you taste that? Whatever you taste or perhaps don't taste, simply notice. I'm trying to notice my saliva right now. On we go, moving our attention to whatever you physically feel on your skin. Maybe you can feel the warmth of the heat coming out of the vent. I would say the sunlight if you're by a window, but here where I am, just clouds. We're getting ready for a storm, so I don't see any sunlight. But I do feel the warmth of my fireplace here on my skin. Perhaps you feel the prickle of goosebumps. How about the tag on the back of your shirt or your pants? Can you feel it tickle? How about your socks if you have them on? Can you feel your socks around your toes? Whatever you feel it with a welcome attitude of openness and non-judgment, curiosity. Off we go now to see what we can see behind our eyelids. So if your eyes aren't closed, close them now. Be wide open to whatever the experience is as you close your eyes. Perhaps you see the remnants of the last thing you saw before you close your eyes. I can see that window in front of my closed eyelids. Perhaps you see light pinpricks. Maybe you even see colors, shades of light or dark. Maybe it's just all dark. Whatever it is, know I am giving you 2 thumbs up right now for that particular experience, and noticing it. A couple more breaths to just notice what we see behind the eyes. Now, we're going to move back towards our own minds, towards that 6th sense, or our metacognition. We've talked about this word before. Metacognition is the awareness of being aware. It's double duty. We're being aware of our own thinking in our mind's eye. We're going to try and mentally open the backs of our eyes and our inner ears. Let's imagine that, the backs of the eyes and the inner ears, imagine them opening. See how they turn inward with awareness. Take an inner look. We're now watching the mind stuff as it comes by, all those thoughts floating by, just sitting in the back, being aware of what's happening in front like you're watching a movie. But in fact, we're watching our own thoughts. They will come by and pass away. Maybe they rush by super quick. Maybe there's so much going on, it looks like a super highway or a fast rushing river. Or if you're having a nice calm morning, maybe it's just a small trickle, just like a tiny stream trickling by. Whatever it is, we are in the back watching what's happening from the front in the peace and quiet of the back of our mind. Is there space between your thoughts? Do you find one comes and there's a space and then another? Or is it the famed Highway 401 where there's all kinds of things always going on? Again, no judgment. We're just noticing from the safety and calm of the back of our mind, the back of our eyes and inner ears, watching as it goes by. Our own individual experience. Whatever that is for you, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till it's nauseating. Whatever you experience is perfectly valid and 2 thumbs up. It doesn't have to be this immense moment, intervention. It is what it is, and that is perfectly fine. Now let's try and become aware of you who is watching your mind. Can you take even one more step back and see yourself inside your mind, watching your mind? Give it a shot. Imagine it. Imagine yourself watching yourself, watching your mind. This is where we're trying to become aware of awareness itself, or that 6th sense. Be aware of the sense of awareness, where we're watching our own mind. We're being curious to notice the undercurrent of awareness. We're conscious of our own presence. Taking a few breaths, just being aware, or trying to notice that awareness. Being conscious of our own presence. Let's take a moment or a few moments to expand that awareness. As well as being in the back of the mind, being aware of being aware. Let's expand. It includes sounds, smells, tastes, textures, what we're seeing behind our eyelids, and the mind itself. Don't worry if it doesn't last for very long, if it seems like too much. It's completely normal to have a sense of the whole of these experiences, and then it poofs or it crumbles. We just keep opening ourselves to the experience of all of our senses at once, allowing the experience of life to continue around us or in the foreground as we sit back and watch. We're maintaining that sense of alert inner stillness in the background, in the safety of the background. Can you sense how the experience of this world, or experiences, of this world, continue to play around and through you without any way of capturing it, without it in any way capturing or confining you in the back who's watching it? That inherent spaciousness of awareness. We're like the sky with big birds flying through it. We're utterly aware and utterly open. We are awareness itself. Try and notice this awareness. Take a moment to just notice. And here I am again, saying, whatever your experience is, it's perfectly okay. Oftentimes it takes quite a long practice or repetition to get to that point where all of this is possible, simply like that. You just take that moment to practice, to breathe, to sit, and it'll come. Maybe little bits, maybe it expands. Don't be afraid to try, and don't be upset if it doesn't happen right away. As we come to the end of our practice today, let's take a few mindful breaths. Refocusing our awareness solely on the breath. Being aware of the in and the outflow. Now let's slowly expand that awareness to the room around us. The sounds. The scents. If there are any. The feeling of your body against your clothes, your tush against the mat or the bolster, or the chair, for those of you sitting in a chair. Together, let's gently wiggle our fingers and toes wherever we're sitting. Eyes can still be closed. Now we're going to slowly drop the chin to the chest. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Deep breath in as we raise the head. As we now end week 11 of meditation, I'm inviting you again, please, 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 find a small amount of time each day where you enjoy a favorite spot, sitting in silence, using the sky or ocean mind technique we tried in earlier weeks, or maybe even today's practice. Just a few minutes. Focusing with a mantra or with beads, focusing on a candle if that is what feels right for you. Maybe sitting for even a moment in a quiet place. Walking and breathing, that's another good one. Don't need anything for that except a pair of boots and a jacket. Intentionally take that screen break from the computer. So many of you guys are so busy these days, doing so many things at once, looking after children, still working at home in some cases, looking after family and work all at the same time, I salute you. So it's so, so important to take those few moments to yourself. Self-care, self-care, self-care. Huge message for 2022 from a lot of the guides and people that I follow. So please, I know it seems like a luxury. It should not be. It should be a necessity, just like brushing your teeth. A few moments of quiet meditation. Even if it's doing laundry, we went through that a number of weeks ago, where we use our 5 senses to re-explore so many of the chores that we just do and do and do and do and do. Dishes, folding laundry, doing laundry, making beds, vacuuming. My favorite way to vacuum is to put my earbuds in, crank up the tunes, and go to town. But I will tell you, I have tried it once or twice using the techniques that we've learned with the 5 senses. The feeling of the handle of the vacuum, the sounds, the scents. It's actually quite an interesting practice if you remember to use it, even doing your regular chores. So I challenge you to give that a shot this week. Now, to close our meditation for today, let's bring those palms together. Gentle bow. And settle that mudra, that hand position, that heart center. Press those thumbs gently into the sternum. Taking that deep breath in. Fill the lungs with fresh energy, fresh prana. Exhale and relax. Namaste, my friends. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source, and I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and love. Mahatma Gandhi wrote that. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next week for another Monday morning meditation. Namaste, my friends. Awesome work today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed our half hour together to explore the 6th sense. I hope you found a quiet spot, a little bit of time for you, and if you did and made it through the entire half hour, 2 thumbs up for you. Self-care is so important this year. Try and remember this week to take some time for you. Maybe it's a lovely bubble bath. Maybe it's a walk outdoors with your dog. Who knows? I could go on forever about the 5,000 different things you could do to take 2 minutes out of your day. I hope you will remember to do that, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another Monday morning meditation. Please take a moment to like the video, leave me a comment, hit the bell, and be subscribed. I am trying to release a new meditation video each Monday. We have a live Facebook group called Strength and Mobility with Creative Soul Yoga. Fall back into yoga basics. I know it's a long title, but I'll have the link below if you're interested. Myself and I think we're up to 5 other teachers now on this particular Facebook group are offering free yoga and wellness initiatives. So many different things to try. We have HIIT Fitness, we have bar, we have yin, we have chair, we have Kundalini. 2 new teachers also starting with us very soon. So come check us out, answer the questions, and come on in and enjoy yourself some free yoga. We're also doing 30 days of total wellness right now. Christine, our founder, yay, Christine, is running 30 days of wellness where we're restarting our metabolisms and learning to eat clean. So come check it out. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next Monday for another Monday morning meditation. My name is Kathleen Osmond. Namaste.